RIMS is global. Discover why 10,000 of your peers in more than 60 countries are part of the RIMS community. Visit rims.org/membership or click the link on this episode's show notes to find the best membership for you. The RIMS Buyer's Guide is a comprehensive online resource for risk professionals. Find a solutions provider by browsing robust profiles with company descriptions, white papers, articles, videos, and more. Visit rims.org to see the RIMS Buyer's Guide. You can also visit rimsmarketplace.webvent.tv. Coming to you from RIMS headquarters in New York, this is RIMScast, the official podcast of the Risk and Insurance Management Society. I am Justin Smolison, Business Content Manager here at RIMS and your proud RIMScast host. This is episode 151, and we will be joined by RIMS Canada 2021 opening keynote, the Shanty Man himself, musician and author Sean McCann. And registration for the RIMS Canada Conference 2021 is now open. The theme is Revision, and this virtual event will be held October 5th and 6th. Register now. Visit rimscanadaconference.ca. The link is also on this episode's notes. And we've got some virtual offerings to discuss. Let's talk webinars. On September 15th, Aon will present Thrive Through COVID in a Delta variant world. On September 21st, OneTrust is back with 10 essential steps to rethinking risk assessments. We have a new session from the Bermuda Business Development Agency on September 23rd. And on September 30th, Travelers will present Prepare to Plug into a High-Powered Opportunity, Understanding Insurance Challenges with Battery Energy Storage Systems that Utilize Lithium-Ion Technology. Visit rims.org/webinars or the link on this episode's show notes to learn more and to register. And folks, claims management virtual workshops have been announced. The next one will be held November 8th and 9th. That is a 2-day session with registration closing on November 5th. RIMS members get discounted rates. Visit the virtual workshops page on rims.org/education for more information and to register. And on with the show. Our guest today is an Order of Canada recipient. He was a co-founder of the renowned Canadian folk group Great Big Sea, which has 4 platinum albums and 2 albums with multi-platinum certifications. He left the band after 20 years to embark on a solo career that has furthered his professional voyage. His new album, Shanty Man, was released in September 2021. It is available in digital format and through limited physical pressing. You can check it out at SeanMcCannSings.com. He also co-authored with his wife, Andrea Aragon, One Good Reason, a memoir of addiction and recovery, music, and love. And on October 5th at 12 p.m. Eastern, you can catch his performance at RIMS Canada 2021. I am thrilled he's here. Sean McCann, welcome to RIMScast. All right, Sean McCann, welcome to RIMScast.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Excellent. So I'm really excited to be in the audience, the virtual audience for your keynote at RIMS Canada. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you have in store for us that day?
This is 2 years in the making. I think it was 2019. So it seems to be a long trail. And what I've come to learn is what I usually did or what I used to do. I'm a musical keynote performer. Mm-hmm. I have a story and some truths to share, but I have an arsenal of songs as a songwriter that I've accumulated over my life that help illustrate in a real way and in real time what I mean. So instead of just saying it, I kind of do it too. And music is a strong medicine, and it's a great weapon to get messages across. So I will be, I've learned that things have evolved so much that I think I have some really new things to talk about. And I also have some new songs to share. So I'll be singing and I'll be talking, and I will try my best not to be boring at all.
That's excellent.
Because the virtual world is a little harder to kind of emote through, but I've done a lot of that work now, so I'm versed in it. I know some tricks.
Yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to ask you. How hard is it to gauge the vibe and the feedback when you are performing virtually?
It is really hard. I mean, artists like me, we rely on the heat from an audience. Sure. The energy is what we use. That's our fuel, and it comes, a true artist, a musical artist, in my opinion, feeds off that. So I had to, I had 2 choices, not do stuff or figure out how to do it. And I had to rely heavily on my own imagination and learn how to kind of entertain myself. And it led to a kind of an evolution in how I did things virtually. And I had to make peace with it,
Yeah.
As much as I kind of, I don't like to use the word hate, but I really resented having to use this technology. But then I had to kind of look at it from the other side. At least we have this technology.
The upside risk.
The upside risk. Yes, we have this ability. And in times of stress and duress, we should use every tool in our toolbox to continue. And that's the way I look at it now. So I've made friends with my with my Zoom.
Excellent. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I think a lot of musicians and entertainers did need to struggle with in the beginning was that the pivot, which is like a almost a 4-letter word at this point, the pivot or the transition. But clearly you've made your peace with it. And when you say that you're going to be doing something special for us at RIMS Canada, will you have a band or will you be solo?
Oh, no, we don't have. The technology hasn't evolved to the point where we can engage a band. I suppose we could, but it would cost tens of thousands of dollars to gear that up. No, we'll just use whatever link we're going to use, whatever platform. And I'm hoping to appear live. Yeah. That would be my goal.
Obviously, our audience will be largely comprised of risk management professionals from North America, generally Canada, but I'm sure that there will be many from around the world. I know that you are not a risk professional, but that's not to say that you don't practice risk, Sean. So I was wondering if you've done any research that demonstrates some parallels between risk management and music for you.
Man, I chose the music business as a career at 22 years of age, 23 years of age. So my entire life is risk management. This is the riskiest business you can get into in almost every way, certainly financially, but like health-wise, and any terms of in any just life. It's just such a risk to embrace this as a career. And so basically every day is risk management for me. I do see there are strong parallels. It's not about people slipping and falling or accidents, but there has always been day to day in my life. There's so many things that I need to watch out for. And it's such a specialized field that you really have to rely on your own experience and learn from your mistakes. So you fail your way forward and you manage the next day and you get better over time. It's just, and part of what we do, when you really embrace this life, because it's more than a career, it's a life choice. You really have to abandon plan B. So you're under extreme pressure. It's just like you're in or you're out. You're
saying you got to go all in.
You're all in or it's not going to happen. That's just it. So, there's a certain kind of madness that goes with it. But if you're careful, you embrace you make these fundamental risky decisions, and they're big, they're life changing. Then you really, in order to survive, then you have to get really good, really fast at risk management insofar as your day to day. And that can come from your social medias to your gigs, your bookings, your contracts you sign. All these things happen to us all the time. Yeah. All the things. And then, of course, the social aspects, which are health, mental health, and there's a very high risk of addictions and stuff in my industry. So it's a lot to take on, and it's not for the faint-hearted.
Right. And you discuss some of that in your book, One Good Reason, which you co-authored with your wife, Andrea, right?
Yeah, Andrea and I wrote that. Yeah,
apologies.
I won't tell her. I've been in recovery for almost 10 years now. And the interesting thing, the band that kind of blew up in Canada, we did work in America and Germany and the Scandinavian countries and stuff, but primarily we were big in Canada, like really big. And we were this party band.
And you were called?
Great Big Sea.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, we were this big, and we did, so in scale, like we sold a couple of million records in Canada, which would be the equivalent of 20 million in America. It's 1/10, it's generally seen there, but we had the ability to play to 20, 30, 40,000 people. Stadiums and outdoor events. So we had a 20-year career and a good run. But our brand was this party band thing. We're from Newfoundland, which is, a very it's a sailor's town. We're a bunch of pirates.
Right.
We joined Canada in like 1949. Like we're this out there. We're an island off the coast of North America in the middle of the North Atlantic. So we're a bunch of pirates, really. But there's a party vibe there. There's a lot of strong music there, a lot of sea shanties there. So we kind of marketed that kind of lawless party vibe to the masses, and it worked. And you know what? It was great for business, but it was, we weren't acting. We were living the life. I mean, we were promoting drink lots, forget your problems for now, and just have fun. And there's a place for that. But we did it, we sold Saturday night on Monday night and on Tuesday night and on Wednesday night. So we never took a break, like we were at it for 20 years.
It catches up with you.
It does, yeah. And you become more and more prone to the risks, which are addiction.
Yeah.
And, we had so much access to alcohol and drugs. And I, for one, took full advantage of all that. I fell prey to that and succumbed. And if it wasn't for my wife, Andrea, I would never have come out of it. So we wanted to share that story because I did come out of it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I have a lot of friends who never did. And so I wanted to share this story for anyone who's on the fence and anyone who struggles with this stuff, and in hopes that they would be, what I've learned as a person in recovery is that it really helps to hear the truth of others who have been successful, because it proves that you can be successful. And it's one of the simplest things I say to Canadians who know the band. It's like, if the guy from Great Big Sea can quit drinking, then anyone can.
Right.
And that has a lot of weight here, that means something when I say that. So hopefully it'll do some good. That was the point of the book. It's called One Good Reason, and it's about how love can conquer addiction.
That's fantastic. And I feel like that segues nicely into this year's RIMS Canada theme, which is revision. And I was wondering if you had a chance to notice that and how it might have resonated with you personally or professionally. It sounds like it probably would have.
Yeah. So revision it's been 2 years now, and the gap.
Yeah.
And apparently 2020, when we tried to do it and didn't get it done, they called it vision. And vision was the play on words of 2020 vision, which speaks to risk management. You're trying to look forward. You want to have clear sight. And
you really did your research. You knew what was going on with us. Well, that's fantastic.
You woke me up. You actually had all these cool questions, and you had intent and energy, and you were like, okay, I better pay attention there now. So I actually got off my butt and started to pay attention then. And you literally drove me down this path. I wanted to find out more about RIMS. So I dug it up and did my research, like just as you did yours. You were inspiring to me. So anyway, what I took from that, and it struck me instantly, that my thought process went to, wow, that's kind of profound, because no one could see COVID coming. No one did see COVID coming, and yet it happened. And it threw us all for a loop. And it reminded us that as hard as we try to risk manage and look forward, and we should continue to, we will miss things. There will be surprises. And so we won't be always successful. But again, how do we respond? How do you learn and move forward? And one of the other things that really struck me is I'm a father. I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
2 boys, 15 and 13. And what fathers do is our job is to kind of like, okay, we have experience. So we share that with our kids. And we spare them the indignities of some failures that they would find if we didn't give them the benefit of our knowledge, Right. But for the first time, because of COVID, I believe that COVID has fundamentally shifted the whole world, and the changes will be long lasting, and the trail will take years to unravel, and all these things. And this is the work we'll do. But for a while there, and now even, it's really hard to say, as a father to a son, this is what you should do.
Right.
This is what you should do. You should do this education and aim at this, because we don't know what the next is now.
Right.
We're in one of those kind of like, the future is unwritten right now.
The universe is expanding, but where is it going?
Exactly. We're in one of those moments. Now, the human race has survived many moments like that in the past, and the word unprecedented has been overused, but we are in this zone. that we are now forced to rely on our wits, the experience, the lessons of history. There's a lot we can use like that, those tools that can help us at least plot tomorrow. We might not have the reach of 2 or 5 years because we don't know where the economy is going to go right now. But we do know what just happened.
Yeah.
And we can take those lessons and we can practically apply them. And I think we need to be, and this is just as a father, but a good father is a good risk manager.
Yeah, there you go. That is our title of the episode right there.
That's our job. And I feel it. And I guess I've lived through enough. I feel this lack of confidence that comes from not really knowing where your next step should be. But that means you be more careful, you look closer, you work harder, and you measure your steps. So we're in that position now. And we'll get out of it. We work together and we work carefully.
Hey folks, it is plug time. RIMS has launched a mobile app for the Society's members. It is now available in the App Store and the Google Play Store. It features instant access to RIMS Risk Management Magazine, Risk Management Monitor, RIMScast, that's this show, Risk Knowledge, the Society's repository of white papers and research, Opus, the Society's online networking program, and updates about RIMS events, resources, and Society news. So go to the App Store, download the app. You can also visit rims.org/resources, RIMS-mobile-app. The link is also on this episode's notes. And let's also talk about Spencer's Risk Manager on Campus program. Folks, for 22 years, the Spencer Educational Foundation's Risk Manager on Campus program has brought practicing risk managers to universities across the U.S. and Canada to engage with students about the risk management profession and insurance industry. If you are looking for a way to give back and share your experience with future risk management and insurance leaders, volunteering for Spencer's Risk Manager on Campus program is a great way to do it. For more information and to register and volunteer, visit www.spencered.org. All right, I hope you've enjoyed the music for the mid-roll. This is the instrumental version of the song On My Way from the album You Know I Love You by Sean McCann. It's fantastic. Let's get back to my interview with Sean. Sean, when we see you on October 5th at RIMS Canada 2021, will your performance have a storyteller vibe where you take breaks between songs to talk a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. And I don't use a script. I literally, this is why I asked to do it live. If I had to pre-record it, which I may, I don't know, you would lose some energy, but I love to be in the moment. I love Q&As and all this kind of stuff. I love to be... Yeah. I think everything I do should be a conversation. So I don't have a PowerPoint. I don't use any technology. I have these songs and right. I have these experiences that I can share. And I've come to think that, and we just randomly identified, like just as a father and as a survivor of addiction, I have some things that are relevant to say to risk management. I can speak to it.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, songs are always a great way to amplify those messages. So in answer to your question, I don't really know.
Oh, okay.
And I hope to keep it that way.
That's cool. Well, no, you got to keep it loose because if you're scripted too much, then you become that kid who can't break off the script and improvise a little bit. And you got to be able to do that, in my opinion.
Yeah. I live firmly off the script. And the most I'll do is have a set list with 5 words.
You've got the set list. I'm sure that every once in a while you just the second bridge, say this or something like that, and that's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Say this, or I write words down to make sure I don't forget to say. My greatest sin is finishing a musical keynote and but I should have said this.
Right.
So I write down, before it happens, I write down the 5 things. Usually it's 5 things. Say these 5 things. Whatever else is, you can say all the other things, but please say this.
Let me just ask you this, because you mentioned earlier that there needed to be no plan B if you were going to go all in a musical career in your early 20s. But just out of curiosity, what would plan B have been?
For me?
Yeah.
I just abandoned. I really don't have one. I can't envision.
You wouldn't have worked on a boat or something like that?
No? I would never. That's what I mean. It's hard to actually understand it, but you won't be successful as an artist unless you abandon your plan B.
Wow. I mean, you were college age at that point, right?
Yeah, I have a degree in philosophy.
Well, that explains a lot, because really good songs and songwriting comes from some of the bigger, more existential questions of life.
Yeah, and I was going to say that I'm functionally unemployable because of my degree, but I guess I ended up in the right line of work, which is highly risk financially anyway. But yeah, no, in order to be, in my opinion, a true artist and a songwriter, you need to be fearless.
Yeah.
Of the unknown. You need to, you need to be able to go places and be in a situation where you really don't know what the answer really is, and that's hard for people.
Sure.
So it's helpful to have some analysis or some information or access to have understood what people who have been fearless before, like the Western philosophers, the ideas of civilization. It's good to be fluent in them, because those things, you're never alone out there when you're in the unknown. There's not many things that haven't happened before. Right. There's nothing you can sing that can't be sung.
I had a feeling that line was coming up.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So these are tools that I use, but I try to live in I try to let people in. A song is a safe place for people to experience uncertainty and certainly emotional turmoil safely. And it gives you that 3 minutes. It can put you there, it can break your heart, or it can, blow your mind. So you can do all these things in 3 minutes, and then you can safely get out of it. So it serves a purpose, I think. It gives people that outlet. But to be good at it, you need to be able to go there fearlessly. And someone like David Bowie was a huge hero of mine, songwriting-wise. He was all over the map, style-wise, and and genius in my mind. But his great strength was his complete lack of fear.
Yeah, he did everything. He was great.
Did it all, yeah. Didn't care, and just served the song. Like, he followed these ideas through, and he led us all on a great trip, and that takes great courage to be that kind of captain.
Yeah. So what is your favorite type of guitar to write on?
I only write on the one.
I see some in the back there. Looks like
this is old brown.
Yeah. Oh wow, we are not showing this, but it's got some chips in it. It's got some holes in it where there shouldn't be holes. It's been around. Yeah,
that's old brown, and he's the first guitar I ever bought. I call him old brown because he's old like me, and he's brown, but he's got a bunch of holes. It's literally from strumming, and I was actually like 21 years old when I got him, and I hadn't played guitar, but I was in bands, and I literally wanted the freedom to choose my own keys as the singer. I play the bodhrán and percussion and stuff, tin whistles, but I was always a singer. I love singing.
Yeah.
But I was always kind of told by the band, like, you got to sing it in this key. And I figured out it's more about, that's easy for you to play in, but I want to sing in this key or that key.
Yeah.
This is where my voice sounds best. So this was, Old Brown was for me, was that freedom. Because if I could control the key, then I could pick the songs. I had more control over my destiny as a singer. So that was why I chose it. And he's the one I write songs on.
And the other players went along with it and said, well, if we need his voice, we better just
They had no choice at that point. Once I got G, C, and D, I also learned you don't really need to know a whole lot of chords. I mean, you need three. You can, I can play a little bit. My arm is a little messed up, but I used to play in bands when I was much younger, and ended up playing bass, but I could improvise my way through G, C, A, E, and E minor. And then I was able to. That's all you need, man.
Yeah, I couldn't do an F. I couldn't do an F to save my life for some reason.
Fs are hard.
Yeah.
Fs are brutal. I just figured out F like a couple years ago. And I'm 54.
Sean McCann has this new sound from a new note called F.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, man, this has been a friend. This guitar, when I stopped drinking, I went into recovery first. And I've since learned this is very typical. You lose a lot of your friends or your drinking buddies are not necessarily your best friends. They're your drinking buddies. And I didn't have any real good friends. I had people I drank with, and that was pretty much my full social calendar. So they kind of drifted off really quickly.
Yeah.
and I was alone and dealing with this problem. But I mean, old Brown was right there for me from the get-go. He never left. He was the friend that never left.
There you go.
So I take him everywhere.
'Cause I remember reading Anthony Kiedis's autobiography, which was called Scar Tissue. I was a huge Red Hot Chili Peppers fan. Yeah, you read it. And I remember, and I got to tell you, of that band, he's for me the weak link, but I have to love him because he sang my favorite songs. But I remember there was a period in '89 when he comes out of rehab for the first time for an extended period of time, and he had this revelation that just because you're out of rehab doesn't mean that the party is over for everybody else.
Yeah.
And that was a real shocker for him. And I'd never heard anybody articulate it that way because I don't, thankfully that's not part of my life. But I was wondering if something like that also happened to you.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm from St. John's, is internationally known as one of the best party towns in the world.
Yeah.
It's got more bars per capita than any other place in North America. It's like the New Orleans of Canada. I mean, it's
right.
Where we go to get our party on, and deciding to sober up in St. John's was brave, but not very practical.
Yeah.
It was just really difficult. It's such a pub culture. It's just people, and I'm not even knocking the town. I love the town. It's just, and if you want to get your party on, go there. It was just, there's no better place. But it was really hard there really is. It's culturally ingrained. I had to literally move, which I did. I had to physically leave that city. And that's some of the many hard things you do when you embrace recovery. Again, another life choice that has no plan B.
Right.
There is no option for an addict like me. It's life or it's death. That's the choice. So you do whatever it takes. So, our family, for the good of me and the family, we moved up here to Ottawa. Not that it's a dry town. This is our political heart of Canada. Politicians drink bet more than anyone. But that's probably not fair to say, but it's personal observation.
Right.
And it's not a dry town, but it was a bigger town. There's 1 million people here. And there's a sober community here, and there was more space here and more opportunities to do things that weren't in bars. And that's where I've been to Ireland 9 times. It had a huge influence on me musically. A lot of, again, the music and the drinking are intertwined.
Yeah.
So it's really hard. I'm trying to think of a way I can go back to show my kids where I learned how to play the bodhrán and these songs without doing it in a pub. And there's not very many opportunities to do that, So you accept the realities and you tread carefully. And that's risk management as an addict.
Absolutely.
Choices.
Now, one of the last things I wanted to ask was, wanted to end on a little bit of a higher note also. You've obviously, like you said, sold millions of albums. You've done countless performances. I'm sure people come up to you all the time and want to tell you about what some of the songs meant to them or how it affected them. And I was wondering if there's a standout one or two where somebody came up to you out of the blue maybe and told you something about your music and how it affected them that really moved you. Yeah,
since I went solo, I've got 5 solo records, the latest being Shanty Man, which is just came out. But the first one, when I started my recovery, was called Help Yourself.
Yeah.
Because I kind of, at the end of the day, after much work, and I went down this musical path to kind of make sense of what was happening in real time and documented it with songs. And part of that was doing the work of dealing with your personal truth. And I've learned that people drink and use drugs for reasons. And in my case, what I had to deal with was why was the why. And in my case, the truth was that I had been sexually abused by a priest. I'm Catholic, baptized Catholic. And so this happened to me when I was a teenager. And this was a secret that I chose to keep buried deep inside. And it ended up manifesting as an addiction and self-destruction. And so I had to it was hard enough to quit drinking, but then it was really hard to come to terms with the why. But I believe that's the only reason I'm successfully sober. I think that's the work you have to do. You make the choice, okay, I'm going to not drink. Okay, here's the hard part. Why did I start? So you get into that. And that's what that whole record was about that.
Right.
The unraveling of the why. And I sing those songs when I get to play live, which I desperately miss. But I always have people who, and I put that record out. I haven't used a label or anything since, really. I just use my website, SeanMcCannSings.com, and social medias and stuff. But it has had an impact on people who see me do them live or who have listened to the songs. And so people disclose to me regularly when I speak at keynotes in person, when I do concerts. They want to share their truth, and I'm willing to listen. It's a burden that I'm prepared to bear. And I do it because I know it's made a difference to people's lives. And I want that because the reason I offered it out there, it helped me, but the reason I want to share it is because I know it can help others if they're given that opportunity. And I really would, I know the difference. I know what it's like to live in darkness, to carry a secret, to suffer through addiction. And I also know, and I would spare anyone that, anyone. I don't wish that, having lived through that, I don't wish that on anyone. So I feel like if I can stop that, great. But I also, I'm not there anymore. I am in recovery and I'm moving forward, and there is hope. And I think that that's important to share with people too. So in answer to your question, I have these conversations all the time in person. They're very moving, and their inspiration, they inspire me to continue, because they're the hard data evidence that this work is worth as a purpose beyond music, and that's what music should aspire to.
Right.
That's what I'm here for. That's given me a purpose.
I like to rise up in the morning at the break of day, hear the sound of a new world calling, feel the sunlight on my face. Now I believe in perfect moments, but I haven't seen one for so long. And I believe that someday soon we'll sing our victory song.
Special thanks again to Sean McCann. This track is called Victory Song from the album There's a Place. You can visit SeanMcCannSings.com to purchase physical and digital music there. Remember to experience his performance at RIMS Canada 2021 on October 5th at noon Eastern. Register at rimscanadaconference.ca. Also, remember that RIMScast is open to sponsorships either on our publicly facing weekly show, that's this show, or with dedicated episodes. We had 3 sponsored episodes in July 2021 with AXA XL, Risk Connect, and Tuvsu GRC. Check them out on Risk Knowledge and the links on this episode's notes. Partner with RIMScast. I would love to work with you. Contact us at cst@rims.org for more information. Now let's talk about some RIMS offerings. RIMS values your contributions to the risk management profession and is here to support members amid the uncertainty. RIMS offers a transitional membership, which is available to any professional or associate member of RIMS upon separation from their current place of employment. It is valid for 2 years or until you secure your next full-time position. Visit rims.org/membership or email cst@rims.org for more information. Also, remember to visit the RIMS COVID-19 Resource Center at rims.org/COVID-19. It is regularly updated. Update your professional profile. Register for the RIMS CRMP, Certified Risk Management Professional. It is the only risk management-based competency credential, and it demonstrates your performance ability and technical knowledge. Check out the Risk Knowledge page on rims.org. This is the RIMS searchable content library that provides relevant information for today's risk professionals. Available materials include RIMS executive reports, survey findings, contributed articles, industry research, benchmarking data, and more. For the best reporting on the profession of risk management, check out Risk Management Magazine, the Society's official monthly publication. You can find us on rmmagazine.com and in print. Visit riskmanagementmonitor.com. That's the Society's official blog. My name is Justin Smullison, Business Content Manager here at RIMS. You can email me at content@rims.org. I want to thank you all for your continued support and engagement on social media channels like LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. We appreciate all your kind words. We wish you all to be safe and healthy and unharmed. We have more insightful and exciting RIMScast episodes coming to you every week. Thank you again and stay safe.